Oh, goody.
Alright, what's up everybody? It is Zombies here again, and today we have our first Mercenaries update for 2022. So this is really exciting. We got some new news from Paul, aka Kaizor, the kind of lead developer over on Mercenaries, and this is from the HS Mercenaries Discord. If you're not familiar with it, I will leave a link in the description, as it is a great way to interact with other members of the community and get good updates on news and everything else going on in the game. And just one thing to note, this did come out after we recorded the podcast for the week, actually just a couple of hours afterwards, I think. So unfortunately just missed that, so we won't be talking about that this week, but we'll probably bring it up next week and any other news that might come out between now and then. But yeah, so I did just want to get a quick little video out here showing you the new news that we do know of what is coming. So basically, in this message, he mentions that they had some restructuring of the Hearthstone team, and Ixar actually mentioned this, I think, a few weeks ago on Twitter. They're kind of doing some restructuring in the team right now, and one of the kind of benefits of that for us in Mercenaries is now that Mercs has a main fully dedicated team to support it, whereas I guess their system was before was a little bit different. Now they have a full dedicated support team that's separate from other disciplines of the game. So I guess like constructed battlegrounds, all that other stuff, and other aspects that go into making the game. And they think that's going to make things that they want to accomplish this year easier to do. So that's great, really beneficial for everyone there. And he's not sure what he can specifically announce and talk about yet, but there were a few things he did feel comfortable sharing with us. So we see these numbers here. These are patch notes numbers. I think right now we're on patch 22.0, and I think it is expected we're going to be getting a 22.1 patch maybe next week. Possibly, I think the odd number patches are more bug fixes and sometimes balance changes, and the even number ones are usually, I think, a bit more content focused from what I've noticed. But yeah, so 22.2, that probably means it is coming a week or two after the next patch we get. So that'll probably be in the next 2 or so weeks, I'd imagine. But yeah, basically 22.2, new mercenaries are coming. They basically been confirmed to be dragons, so that's really exciting. We're also getting a new zone and bounties, so that's really cool. Before, when we got new mercs, it's just been an expansion on Blackrock, so I'm excited to see what zone they end up picking and kind of what bosses they end up having there, if it's going to be also themed around dragons, since we're going to be getting dragon mercs. We're also getting the Training Grounds version 1, which should be out as well at that point. If you don't know, the Training Grounds is, I believe, the idea is a way to kind of passively level your mercs somehow by kind of storing them in the training ground. I know this isn't something that's super useful for people who've already been playing a ton like I have, but I think this is a really good addition to have to help out people who might be interested in the mode but don't necessarily have the time to grind up all their mercenaries. So I think that that's at least a small step in the right direction for some accessibility stuff. Now, this was really interesting to me. The third equipment is no longer going to be unlocked from Task 7 for these new mercenaries. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a decision like that they keep for all the new ones going forward, or just this new bunch, they're trying it out. But with this release, you now get them from clearing the appropriate heroic bounty with them on your team. So that's actually really cool. I think that's a positive change. I think right now, the grind in Mercenaries relies far too much on Mysterious Stranger, and I don't think that should be taken away. I just think that there should be better alternatives for you to grind out, and I think this is a good way of the game giving you a reason to do Heroic, outside of just for the achievement or bragging rights or maybe a chance at a few extra coins compared to normal. I like that there is an actual reason for me to do the heroic bounties now, because before there really wasn't too much of a reason for me to do them. And those are the only things he shared with us about 22.2, but he does also mention for 22.4, he is trying to see if they can deliver on a new feature that is being actively worked on right now, and hoping it can make it into that patch in time before it ships. So not too much info there, but it sounds like it's something he is very excited about. So definitely something to look forward to. And last but certainly not least, they mentioned after that, the focus will be on an endgame system for PvE, which is a really important thing. Honestly, that is something we talk a bit about on the podcast. I think that a proper endgame PvE system is really important because right now, the only endgame system for PvE is PvP. And as much as myself and a bunch of other people love PvP in this game, I think there's also a lot of people who just enjoy the more casual PvE element. So I thought it was kind of unfortunate they didn't have a proper final raid boss or final endgame thing to kind of grind towards outside of just doing the heroic boss fights, which, while some of them were challenging, weren't overly difficult to complete once you had a pretty solid team of mercenaries assembled and understood the mechanics. But yeah, that is all the news we have here in this update. I'm sure there is a bunch of other stuff coming along with this that just could not be shared right now, as he did mention this is just a few of the things he felt comfortable sharing. So I'm sure there's going to be more stuff coming along with it. And like I said before, I'd imagine we'll be seeing this in the next 2.5-ish weeks. But that's just a general guesstimate. We do know the patch numbers, though, so once we see when 22.1 comes out, that'll probably give us a good estimate of when we can expect 22.2. But that's going to do it for this video. Would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed it, do remember to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And if you're interested in more Mercenaries discussion, the Fighting Pit Podcast, Episode 5, will be resuming today in a couple of hours here on the channel, as well as its normal platforms, Spotify, Apple, and RSS feeds. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.